Hey guys, it's Beer Taster America. I'm here to do the 2016 edition of the Pabst Blue Ribbon beer review, guys. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon, aka PBR. Guys, it's PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's a popular beer. You know, one of the funny references I like to Pabst, if you ever watch South Park, this is what Randy likes to drink on South Park. I don't know if they flat out show the label. I don't think they flat out show it, but it's got the colors of PBR. You can tell that guy's drinking PBR. There's the cap. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Guys, this is an old brand of beer from the 1800s. The Blue Ribbon they talk about, this is from, it was selected as America's best. It says here, 1893 was selected as America's best. This beer has been established since 1844. Guys, it's PBR. When you want something different, you want to take a break from the big three or from craft brew, this is a nice alternative. Guys, it's PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. I like to always come back and do my reviews again and again of certain really popular beers because, you know, it's interesting. I think beers have a tendency to change over time. I'm not sure if it's my taste changing or rather if it's, you know, the formula's getting tweaked, ingredients changing or getting substituted, or amounts changing over time. I'm not really sure, but I find that over time, you know, beers taste a little bit different to me, and I think probably you will as well. As you drink beer, as years go by, you know, I think you'd be surprised. I think in the heat of summer or in the dead of winter, you know, beers will be a little bit different to you also. So I think a lot of factors go into it. Guys, it's February 2016. The New Hampshire primaries were today. Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders both won. Guys, this little point in history right here and now, this is what this PBR tastes like to me. And this one has a freshness date on it, April 18, 2016. So it's well within the freshness range. Guys, it's PBR. Let me tell you what I think. PBR. First, the smell. It has a very mild aroma. It has a mild aroma of malt and graininess. Really, just malt and grain, mild aroma. Alright guys, the taste. PBR. Before I get really into the taste, let me say this. I bought this beer, 12-pack of bottles for $8.99. I think that's around what the 12-pack of cans usually goes for. I think the bottles may be, you know, around that same price usually, or maybe a little bit higher. Maybe this was on sale. I'm not totally sure. But overall, this beer is a good value. I think if you buy in bulk, especially in cans, you can get this beer pretty damn cheap. You know, it's one of the cheaper beers out there, really. Maybe not on the same level as like Milwaukee's Best or Natty Ice or something like that, but I think overall this beer is pretty cheap. And one of the things that, in my opinion, distinguishes this beer, and has distinguished this beer for quite some time now, from other beers in that same price point, is that even though this is a cheap beer, you still get a little bit of flavor of actual hops in this beer. Most really cheap lager beers, American adjunct lagers like this is, you're really not going to taste hops at all, really. I mean, there might be like a balancing, dry kind of finish to the beer, but the actual flavor and taste of hops is usually absent. Whereas with this beer, it's mild. I mean, it's quite mild. Nevertheless, there is actual flavor of hops in this beer. So I think at this price point, that really sets this beer apart and is a positive thing about this beer. Now let me get into this flavor profile a little bit more. The main flavors I get from this beer is a little kiss of hops, very mild, but there's a sweet, bready kind of flavor to this beer and also a graininess. Is mostly what you're tasting, with that little bit kiss of hops. There's a ton of carbonation in this beer too. This beer is very heavily carbonated, and excuse me, the body is borderline light and medium, but more so on the light side. Another way to put it is for the light category, like light bodied beers, this would be on the heavier end of that spectrum. So it falls on the border between light and medium, but more so to the light side in terms of the body. There's a lot of carbonation, a lot of carbonation. Flavor, you get just a little kiss of hops. You get some sweetness and bready kind of flavor. And you get some graininess too as well. But overall, I would say this. Let me take another taste. Overall, I would say this. For a cheap American adjunct lager, this beer is very good. For that category, for the price point it's at, it's hard to do better than this. You may find beers that are smoother and easier to drink, like Bud Light or Coors Light. Milwaukee's Best is not bad. You're going to find beers probably at this price point that are, and a couple of those beers I just mentioned are actually at a higher price point. But this sort of category of beer, for this cheaper American adjunct lager, Keystone Light will be an example. This sort of category of beer, most of them are just focused on being really easy to drink. This beer has that, but I think even though the focus is certainly with this beer on being easy to drink, there's also a little bit more focus than with other beers in this sort of category upon actual beer flavor in terms of hops and in terms of a maltiness to the beer without so much grain. Because there is graininess to this beer, but it doesn't overwhelm the malt flavor or the hops. It's actually pretty well balanced and easy to drink and flavorful and light and pretty damn good, man. Pabst Blue Ribbon, it's pretty damn good actually, especially for the price. So overall, I would say PBR is an enjoyable beer. I like it. I'm glad I got it, especially at this price. And I think, I got this at a grocery store that I shop at, and it was on sale. I think the regular price was like $11.99 or something like that. But it was on sale $8.99 for the 12-pack of bottles. But I bet at Walmart, this is around that price all the time. And I'm glad to try it in the bottle. I always drink this beer out of the can. But the bottle is, bottles are better to drink out of. They're more fun to drink out of, more pleasant experience. And the cans, maybe they keep things a little fresher, but this beer is nice and fresh in this bottle, and it tastes pretty good, and it's nice to drink from the bottle. So overall, I'm happy with this PBR. It's a good option for the AAL category, American Adjunct Lager category. I think for an AAL or an American Adjunct Lager, hey, it's cheap. You get a little bit of hops, taste some maltiness. Yeah, it's an adjunct lager. There's corn in this. I mean, they're certainly using corn. I think that's what gives this such a graininess. But, the graininess isn't the predominant flavor. You're tasting some hops. It's got a nice sweet maltiness to it. And it's not as light as some beers in this category are. I mean, you're not going to be able to just throw back a bunch of these in a row like you would with like a Coors Light or something like that. But at the same time, it doesn't taste as grainy. It doesn't taste as grainy as a lot of those American adjunct lagers do. The malts taste a little bit better, a little bit more amount of malt versus corn. And they're actually using a little bit more hops than they normally do for this. The body's a little bit heavier. They try to make it light and drinkable with all that carbonation and everything, and just the overall style. But it's still a light drinkable beer, but it's got pretty good flavor. I like it. I think it's pretty good. And yeah, beers do change over time. I think the last few times I've drank PBR, haven't liked it as much as this 12-pack that I've been drinking on. And I don't know if they're doing things a little bit better over a PBR, or I just got a real nice batch here, but this is pretty good. For an American Adjunct Lager, I really like it. I think it's good, and I would not turn this down. I think it's a good beer. I give it a thumbs up. I like it. I think it's a good beer, guys. It's PBR. What do you think? PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Good value. Pretty good American adjunct lager. Yeah, you taste some corn, but overall it's pretty nice. Guys, I like it. PBR. Enjoy.